The manhunt for Travis Decker, the father allegedly who murdered his three daughters, now moves on into month number 2. The manhunt has not stopped. The authorities who have been, searching for Travis Decker in the wilderness area of the state of Washington have now received new possible leads that are really, good leads of Travis Decker in the state of Idaho. On your screen here, I am now going to show you where the manhunt has been and where the new leads have come in. The blue circle you see in the state of Washington is outside of Wenatchee area, where the last confirmed sighting of Travis Decker was on May 30th of 2025. The 3 red circles, solid circles, that you see in the state of Idaho are sightings, multiple sightings in each location of someone who matched Travis Decker. We're talking about from the top one in Idaho to the bottom one. We're looking at a total of about 145-mile distance between the top one and the bottom one in the state of Idaho. Those possible sightings, multiple sightings in each location, are in this following area: Rathdrum, Idaho, Hayden, Idaho, and Lake Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. These sightings have multiples of each location of a man who is 5'8" to 5'10", which matches Travis Decker, with facial hair and a beard, long hair and a possible ponytail, the way that he looked on the last known confirmed sighting of him on May 30th of 2025. Along with that, a JanSport backpack, a black mesh baseball hat, and low-top tennis shoes is what the individuals all confirmed that he was wearing, and he had tattoos, just like Travis Decker. When law enforcement so far has, swapped these areas to confirm the actual sightings, they have not found an individual at all that matches any of these sightings. But again, in each of those 3 places, they've had multiple sightings in each location. With Travis Decker's background and being a survivalist and having extensive training, and knowledge before he entered the United States Army, and then his additional training in high altitude survivalist training, what would Travis Decker possibly eat that is out there that he could forage for? Besides small game like rabbits and squirrels and alike that he could set up a snare net for to capture and eat and cook, there are other things that that are in the forest, these high altitude forests where he would be, that he could forage. And these are just some of the things that are in season right now today. This is not by any means an all-inclusive list. There are other things like wild onions and edibles that are not on this list, because I do not know and could not confirm if they would be in season to be eaten at this time. Berries that he could find in Washington State, Idaho, and in Montana in high altitude locations of the Cascades and Rocky Mountains are huckleberries, blueberries, bilberries, timberberries, salmon berries, blackberries, coastal black currants, lingonberries, black hawthorn, blue elderberries, bunch berries, high bush cranberries, mountain ash berries, Saskatchewan berries, otherwise known as stink currants or gooseberries, sticky gooseberries, western juniper berries, wild strawberries. On top of the berries, he could also forage the following: dandelion and dandelion roots, camas bulbs, which are a significant source of food that Native Americans have eaten for generations, that you can eat fresh or cooked or dried. and ground into a powder to make almost like a flour. Tubular plants, like the licorice fern, which can be eaten raw or cooked. Arrowhead plants, which are the bistort variety. The chestnut plant, otherwise commonly known as the bracken berry or the bracken bush. There is chicory. There's colt's foot, which is another tubular that can be eaten raw or cooked or dried into a powder. Again, the consistency of flour and make like a cake out of. Native Americans have relied upon this plant for generations as well. There is the fireweed plant and its root system, but you have to be careful with the fireweed because it can be toxic and it is very bitter unless you process it correctly, wash it multiple times when it's raw. There's the arrowleaf plant, and then there is the balsamo root plant. These are just some of the things that can be foraged in the national forest that are growing everywhere in these areas that he could eat to sustain life. He is finding outpost cabins that people are not at. He is breaking in and stealing whatever he can for supplies if he is out there. If he has gone from the Wenatchee area to Idaho, which is a good amount of distance to make by foot, he would need some kind of protein to survive on. Fresh water is abundant everywhere in the high altitude areas. Fresh lakes, runoffs, streams, creeks, where if he had some kind of container to hold water, he could, get water itself. But again, the likelihood is that he's not in the Idaho area, that he is somewhere in between the Bluewood area and up towards the Canadian border, if he is, in fact, alive. We need to catch Travis Decker. If you've seen Travis Decker, contact any state, local law enforcement, or federal law enforcement agency, and you can leave them a tip that you've seen someone that looks like Travis Decker, or you've seen Travis Decker. But that's just an update on where and what's going on with Travis Decker today, as of the beginning of July of 2025.